What is up, Pulsechans, Hexachans? Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I want to compare previous DEX launches, which is what Pulse X is, and look at their price performance just so we can have an idea and kind of an estimate of where we can see Pulse X going. I want to say thank you for all the likes on the last video. We got over 1,000 likes, and I really appreciate that because the only reason I know about Hex in this community is because I saw a YouTube video a year ago. The only reason I saw that YouTube video is because enough people had hit the like button and it got into my recommended algorithm. So by hitting that like button, you truly don't know who you might share this information with and whose life could be changed. My life was changed because of Hex. And so just think of the butterfly effect. Hit that like button, it's free. You don't know who you might put onto this information. And Pulse X and Pulsechain, I truly believe, are life-changing. So today is Sunday. All right, God bless you all. God bless the whole Hex community. We're almost at $920 million in total sacrifice amount, so absolutely absurd. Also, just a quick headline, totally unrelated. Walmart is quietly preparing to enter the metaverse. This just came out today. I'm not sure if this is a top indicator or not, but hey, you can now yield farm Walmart coin just by wearing a uniform and stocking the shelves at Walmart. No, that's just a joke. But yeah, Walmart is actually ending the metaverse, and the metaverse is a little bit too trendy for me. Let's just focus on Pulsechain. So speaking of decentralized exchanges, I want to start, before I go in depth with every decentralized exchange, a general top-down look. Here we have an article, and it just shows how decentralized exchanges have been outperforming centralized exchanges throughout the year. According to a cryptocurrency analytics provider, Masari, DEX tokens have performed 5 times better than centralized tokens in 2020. That's not even including 2021, right? Which was the year of the decentralized exchange token. All right, so my apologies. I actually thought this was 2021. But either way, if we look at 2020, the growth in 2021 was absolutely dwarfing this growth. So this is just a idea of how much more it's increased. So here it compares decentralized tokens and centralized tokens, and you see decentralized tokens had about a 6x percentage gain compared to centralized tokens. Now, why might that be? Okay. And they point basically at crypto regulation. In the United States, you cannot use Binance, for example. And because of crypto regulation, it's pushing a lot more traffic in their estimates to centralized exchange. Here we have a bar graph that compares the growth of exchange tokens, and you can see, if you look at the labels here, the decentralized tokens are the ones starting to take up more and more market share. All right. Why is that? Well, when you hold the keys to your crypto, you have a lot more control. If you get hacked and your tokens are on Coinbase, and Coinbase gets hacked, your tokens are at jeopardy. Right? As long as your tokens are in that MetaMask wallet, your tokens are not getting hacked. So that's one of the reasons. And then lower fees as well are one of the reasons that a lot of people go to decentralized exchanges. All right, so a lot of benefits. My apologies, this article is from 2020. But if decentralized exchanges performed this well in 2020, imagine what they did last year, okay, and going forward in the next year. And now I want to talk about the 4 biggest decentralized exchanges, or 4 of the biggest, and that would be PancakeSwap, Trader Joe Swap, Uniswap, and QuickSwap. All right. Now the first thing to analyze is all of these tokens had a different kind of launch than Pulse X. Right? For Pulse X, we are sacrificing, and anyone that sacrifices will get a certain amount of tokens for each dollar. For PancakeSwap, which is on the Binance Smart Chain, think of this as the Binance equivalent to Pulse. It was a fair launch, and the only way you could get the cake token was by yield farming. Okay, so there wasn't like airdrop trillions of tokens like there will be for Pulse X. You actually had to participate in the ecosystem to farm cake. For Trader Joe Swap, it was very similar. All right, to get the Joe token, you had to go to AVAX, put your tokens on Trader Joe Swap, and yield farm. For QuickSwap, same thing. 90% of Quick tokens. I remember Crypto Coffee actually making a video on farming Quick tokens by liquidity providing. So Pulse X is different than these decentralized exchanges because the Pulse X token we will be receiving right off the bat, okay? And then people will yield farm and provide liquidity for a different token that we don't even know about yet. So just keep that in mind right off the bat. The launch for these projects is different, and a lot of people participating in Pulse X are hexagons, right? And these people aren't looking to sell their Pulse X at a double. People are looking for big returns on Pulse X, and people are not going to be wanting to sell their Pulse X until they get their big returns. A lot of people participating in the Pulse X sacrifice, you see 40 million sacrificed, 29 million, 20 million. I guarantee you a lot of these people sacrificing big amounts are people that made multi-millions in Hex. And these people are different than just a regular seed investor because they follow Richard Hart. Hex made them a lot of wealth. They're long on the whole Pulse ecosystem, and they're not looking to get rid of their Pulse X tokens just on a double. When you have yield farmers, people yield farm to make money, right? So if they're yield farming to make the cake token, or they're yield farming to get the Joe token, or they're yield farming to get the quick swap token, they're yield farming not to hold the tokens they get for years, right? Like Pulse X people are looking to, a lot of people holding Pulse are not going to sell it in the first year. But when people are yield farming, they're yield farming to dump it, right? So there's a lot more sell pressure when we look at Pancake Swap, Trader Joe Swap, and Quick Swap, right? Because people are farming these tokens just to drop them. Now, when I talk about sell pressure, we already have 900 million in Pulse X. So when it does come out, to be fully transparent, that's a lot of potential sell pressure, right? Say it doesn't come out for 6 months, people will start to get impatient, and some people might just actually need their investment returned to them, whether they have to pay their rent or a student loan or some life expense. People are going to need to take profits early. And so, to be fully transparent, this is a different kind of launch. These projects didn't have 900 million in potential sell pressure when they launched, but long term, over the first 3 months of these projects, a lot of this Pulse X will be dumped immediately, I presume, but it'll get bought up very fast. And long term, people will not be dumping Pulse X. I think there could be some dumping right off the bat, but ultimately no one knows. I'm really excited just for it to come out. So now for the price comparisons, we have Cake right here. If you look at the 1 year graph of Cake, when it launched, it was at about, and just a preface, I know this isn't the most beautiful graph, but it gets the data across. It launched at about 50 cents, and in the first, let's say half a year, it mooned up to $40, okay? Now this coincides with the growth of PancakeSwap and the growth of Binance Smart Chain. Now, one of the pluses of Pulse X is that we're copying the entire system state of Ethereum on Pulsechain, so I think the adoption of value and liquidity locked on Pulse is going to happen faster than it did for some of these other chains because they don't have the whole system state of Ethereum and they don't have the largest airdrop in crypto. All right, but still massive gains from 50 cents to $40, about a 100x in about half of a year, 4 months. Okay, that was PancakeSwap. Our next one to look at is Trader Joe Swap. This is the DEX on Avalanche. Right now it's at $1.63, and this is only about a half-year-old project. So what we just looked at on PancakeSwap, this surge up, that's about the only window we have on Trader Joe Swap because it's relatively more new. And this is also a little bit unfair because Bitcoin has kind of been dumping recently, and I think that's why we see Trader Joe Swap coinciding with that dump, right? Bitcoin kind of steers the way for a lot of these. And if you kind of take this part of the graph away, where Bitcoin has dumped the past 2 months, you can see that Trader Joe Swap was just doing absolutely wonderful, right? It probably would have gone over $5 had Bitcoin not corrected right here. But it started at 3 cents, and in its first 4 months, it went from 3 pennies all the way up to $4.50, right? So that is a 30x times 3 times 4. That's almost a 200x, give or take a little bit, in the first few months. So PancakeSwap in the first 4 months had a 100x. Trader Joe's swap had about a 200x. Now Uniswap is a little bit tricky because Uniswap launched, and for a whole year it didn't have the Uni token, and then they just airdropped the Uni token, and the Uni token itself doesn't have a lot of utility. So this isn't the best example to look at, but still great performance from $2 to $18. And I'm not sure what the Uni token actually started at with the airdrop. It looks to be about $3 on this chart. And as soon as the airdrop happened for Uniswap, it went from $3 up to $8 and then dumped. Whenever you have airdrops and give people free tokens, there tends to be more selling. That's just how this works. And then with QuickSwap had a crazy surge. I remember this. It launches around $40. People start farming Quick tokens. You could obtain Quick tokens by liquidity farming, liquidity providing, yield farming. So Quick went from $40 to $500. A quick 10x, no pun intended. And then of course, because people are yield farming for profit, people sold to take their profit, dump, dump, dump. Goes down to $140. And then it surges to $1,400 when Polygon and Matic kind of exploded. This is also when Matic went also vertical. And a lot of the times, the token and the decentralized exchange token will pump together, right? Like Matic and QuickSwap, Pulse and Pulse X will pump together. And all of these, I basically have showed you, have done great performance, right? But this doesn't include two things that Pulse X has. And that is the largest airdrop in crypto, the world's largest yield farm, and in general, the tokenomics and game theory that Richard Hart can possess. If you look at what Hex did, the price chart of Hex over the past year is the best and most beautiful graph in all of cryptocurrency. Right here it is here. If I put on the log chart, you can see how beautiful this chart is. And that's because it was designed with game theory and tokenomics to hold the price up when other prices dump, right? It has to do with staking and people locking up their tokens so they can't sell. Selling is what hurts price charts. That's as simple as it can get. Buying is what pumps the charts, selling is what dumps the charts. So if you can design something that people are more likely to buy and hold and they can't sell, that's going to do better in price. And Richard Hart knows this. His first project did this. So imagine what kind of game theory and tokenomics could play in Pulse X, right? What kind of effect could the game theory have in Pulse X? Furthermore, the world's largest yield farm is going to attract tons of degen yield farmers, and the world's largest crypto airdrop is going to attract everyone in crypto to at least come and claim their tokens. They'll see the ecosystem is very low fees and high speeds, and I imagine that they will start to use it or at least test it out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you're still watching the video, comment enchiladas or tacos. Which one do you like more, enchiladas or tacos? I just want to see who watched the video the full length. If you're still watching, it really supports the channel. So let yourself known by answering that question in the comments below. Also, just beware, speaking of comments, there's a lot of scammers. I will answer questions, but I will never link my WhatsApp or my Telegram. If I'm ever trying to get you off of YouTube and talk to you, that's a scammer. All right, so just be safe with your crypto. Don't get scammed. There's tons of scammers. And subscribe if you like Pulse content. Hit the bell. Turn on all notifications. If you don't hit the bell, YouTube will never notify you. And yeah, guys, God bless you all. I'm excited for what this year is going to bring for Pulse and Hexicans alike. And yeah, I just can't overstate my excitement. And until next time.